To truly grasp the gravity of what unfolded that season, you need to understand one thing: Parker Schnabel's colossal gamble. It wasn't just a typical season of mining. No, it was a bold, almost reckless pursuit of a multi-million-dollar dream. It could have either turned him into an industry legend or left him shattered and bankrupt. Were they heading back to Dominion Creek the following year looking for more? Or was that the kind of risk that was simply too dangerous? At that moment, Parker wasn't making that call. The truth was, whoever ended up mining that land, it was going to be tough. It was brutal out there, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. A simple yet powerful philosophy drove him. Parker, he had taken the biggest shot of his entire career. Let's talk numbers. As of that season, Parker's total gold output had soared, almost hitting 4,795 ohms. That was a massive milestone. They had broken the 4,000-ounce mark, and with that, the stakes skyrocketed. It was a $15 million gamble on Dominion Creek, and his target was almost unthinkable. His goal had been to somehow uncover 5,000 ounces of gold in a single season. Where does that bring us to? A season total 408.95 ounces. We broke the 4,000 mark. It was hard to believe it was real, but that was the goal, and it wasn't just about bragging rights. It was about proving that his massive, almost insane dream was within reach. But here was the catch. That goal wasn't just a lofty number. It was fraught with terrifying obstacles, pitfalls that could have sent everything crashing down. Every day at Dominion Creek, the team faced a new challenge. A gut-wrenching obstacle that could have derailed their entire operation. Machinery breaking down. That was just the start. These weren't small fixes. They were dealing with massive, complex wash plants pushed to their limits. Battling brutal rocks that could snap equipment like toothpicks in seconds. And just when they thought they were on a roll, gold could vanish into thin air, leaving days of work undone. Behind the scenes, it was a relentless war. Parker's crew, a band of loyal, hardened miners, operated under almost unbearable pressure. When those wash plants ground to a halt, even briefly, the cost was astronomical. Thousands of dollars were lost in the blink of an eye. The team was constantly racing against the clock, battling the weather, fighting fatigue, and pushing their machines to the brink. And amid all that chaos, out of nowhere, something incredible happened. While processing a routine run of pay dirt, they spotted something that stopped everyone in their tracks. This wasn't just another day at the mine. No, this was different. The crew had noticed something unusual. A glint, a shimmer that caught their eye. And what they saw was jaw-dropping. It wasn't just a flake of gold. It was something more, something extraordinary. Parker decided he wanted to make some adjustments on the plant. We had it working what I thought was pretty good. And now this thing's probably running at 20% over capacity and it's spilling everywhere. And then it happened. They uncovered a stunning massive nugget. So breathtaking that it instantly sparked hope and raw excitement. It was almost like a lightning bolt frozen in gold. The team quickly named it the electrifying nugget. And for good reason. It weighed 41.8 ohms of pure gold. But it wasn't just its size that was astonishing. It was the crystal-structured dendritic, resembling a lightning bolt, shimmering with an almost otherworldly beauty. This wasn't just a chunk of metal. It was an artifact, a masterpiece of nature that looked like it belonged in a museum, not buried beneath the earth. The shape, the sharp edges, the shiny corner. This nugget was so unusual that it was worth far more than just its weight. Experts estimated it could fetch tens of thousands, maybe even more because of its rarity and beauty. 60, 70, 80, another 100, 100, and 30, 140. The remainder, Chris, right? 200 more the first one. 220, 246.85. In that instant, everything shifted. It was no longer just about accumulating ounces. It became about the story that Nugget told. This could have been the turning point. Proof that their operation was finally hitting the jackpot. Parker's risky decision to buy Dominion Creek. Maybe it was about to pay off in ways he had never imagined. From that moment on, everyone talked about more than just gold totals. They speculated. Could even bigger pieces be hiding underground? Was this just the beginning of a new gold rush? Or was it the peak, a moment that might never be repeated? Questions swirled in the air. Would it create more pressure, pushing them to chase something that might be impossible? The impact was undeniable. It became a story that fans all around the world were glued to. To understand why that discovery had been such a game-changer, you need to know about the secret weapon Parker had been betting on. High-tech wash plant, Roxanne. This wasn't just any machine. Parker's exploration of advanced mining techniques had begun years earlier during his time in New Zealand, as shown in Gold Rush, Parker's Trail. He had become obsessed with wash plants, massive complex machines designed to separate gold from dirt and rock. He had studied a vast array of cutting-edge technologies from around the world. He had even consulted veteran miners like Ian White, trying to absorb their hard-earned wisdom. But here's the thing. He still encountered some incredible yet unsuitable options. In one episode, viewers had seen Parker test a futuristic floating wash plant capable of processing staggering amounts of material. It looked like something out of a sci-fi film, but it simply wasn't built for the frozen, rugged terrain of the Yukon. Undeterred, Parker had kept searching, and when he couldn't find the perfect solution, he chose to design and build his own. Over 2 years, he poured his heart-earned resources into Roxanne, his custom-built wash plant that he believed could revolutionize his operation. And the results, at first, they were a nightmare. Malfunctions, broken wires, and water hoses bursting. Nothing went smoothly, but perseverance paid off. Slowly, the team got Roxanne running consistently. And when they did, they hit the jackpot at Dominion Creek. That was where the big discovery happened. The very machine Parker believed would push his operation to the next level had become the key to unlocking the true potential of that land. He had bought the Dominion Creek claim for a staggering $15 million, a massive investment. 6 months after betting $15 million to buy his own massive claim. The big thing is you do not want to put a cut in the wrong spot. That's like a big old number one no, especially when you get to the size where every day is so expensive. And why? Because drill testing had indicated there could be up to 80,000 ounces of gold buried deep beneath the surface. At the time's gold prices, that was a potential treasure worth hundreds of millions. But here was the catch. The gold was buried 40 feet underground beneath tons of barren earth. Extracting it would have required massive, expensive stripping operations. It was a high-wire act, an all-or-nothing gamble that could have either made him incredibly wealthy or left him drowning in debt and shattered hopes. Throughout that season, Parker had constantly weighed the risks and rewards. Every decision was critical. He had even been willing to buy out the claim owner to secure the land. It was an aggressive move that showed just how serious he was. But this wasn't just a business story. It was deeply personal. Parker's honesty in interviews revealed how much that season's decisions had weighed on him and his team. It wasn't just about dollars and ounces. It was about their livelihoods and their futures. He had been committed to keeping jobs and pushing forward, even when the odds had seemed insurmountable. The question on everyone's mind had been, how much was that nugget worth? They crunched the numbers. 430 ohms divided by 31.1 grams in a troy ounce. It was more than just shiny metal. Now it was a fortune. It was about striking it rich or losing it all. It added pressure. More eyes were watching. More people were betting on Parker's success. The stakes had never been higher. And what about the bigger picture? Could it have been a sign of more big finds? Everyone was watching, waiting to see if that one nugget was just the beginning of something even greater. As the season unfolded, one thing became clear. It wasn't just a TV show. It was real life, a story of ambition, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of a dream. The big question was, what would happen next? Would Parker's bold gamble pay off, or would the wild, frozen land claim its due? The only certainty was this. In the world of gold mining, the greatest discoveries often came when least expected. And sometimes all it took was one electrifying nugget to change everything. It wasn't just about gold anymore. It was about legacy. And for Parker Schnabel, this season might have been the one that defined.